things here and there, but that is truly it. But one signing I do really want to talk about, a little bit in depth, is Isaiah Thomas. That's right, Isaiah Thomas. He has finally landed with the team. No, it's not the Boston Celtics. That team is the Denver Nuggets. Isaiah Thomas will be going down to Denver on a 1-year minimum contract. That's right, only a minimum deal. He will be making $2 million this season. Isaiah Thomas, the same guy who said the Boston Celtics are going to have to back up the Brinks truck, the same guy who we thought will be signing for at least 20, maybe 30 million a year. And that was truly the debate just last summer. How much will Isaiah Thomas command? We thought it would be at least 20 million, possibly 30 million. We've seen DeMarcus Cousins. He went from a potential max deal to signing 5 years, but Isaiah Thomas is at the minimum. So even DeMarcus Cousins, who will play half the season with that ruptured Achilles, he is making twice the amount Isaiah Thomas will be making this year. And then when you look at the fit with Denver, what is Isaiah Thomas going to be able to bring to the table? It looks like he'll be more than likely going to be the sixth man coming off of the bench. I don't see him starting for the Denver Nuggets unless, of course, an injury or anything like that occurs. From day one, I don't see Isaiah Thomas as a starter with the Denver Nuggets. He will probably be the sixth man. That will probably be his role, which he's done all the way up until his days in Boston. He was the sixth man. He should be used to it, but you know, Isaiah Thomas, he has a lot of pride. And after that season where he was the MVP candidate, how is he going to be willing to take being the sixth man? He did okay with the Los Angeles Lakers. I was surprised by how well he took it with the Lakers. But now he's going to be doing it for a full season. He's going to be doing it with the team that may be able to get into the playoffs if IT could still come off the bench and he could get you those 15 to 18 points a game. I do think it increases the odds that the Nuggets could potentially make the playoffs. But for IT, this is an extremely, extremely important season. He has to show that he is willing to come off the bench. He has to show that he can still score at the same rate that he did in Boston. Now, what I mean by that, of course, you're not going to come out here and score 28 again, especially with your minute restriction that you're essentially going to be on coming off of the bench. But you do have to show that you can still be a potent scorer. That's right. I want to be looking for at least 18 points a game for IT, especially if he has that six-man role. I think Isaiah Thomas could definitely deliver that. But can he do that consistently? Is his hip okay? Can he play in almost all 82 games? These are the things teams are going to be looking at, because there's no doubt in my mind, Isaiah Thomas, he's only going to be in Denver for one season unless this season goes terribly. If he shows any signs that he could be the old Isaiah Thomas, and it wasn't just a system thing, because remember, the knock on Isaiah Thomas right now is, of course, the hip injury, and it's also that maybe, just maybe, he was a system player in Boston, because the same guy we seen in Isaiah Thomas, he was never really that same player anywhere else. He was always a great scorer, always a nice little spark plug come off the bench, an ideal six-man before his time in Boston, but he was never an MVP candidate. He was never the player that you looked at as potentially one of the best players in the NBA. That was never your thought with Isaiah Thomas. He's just a nice scorer, and we've seen a ton of people who come in and they're just nice scorers off the bench. Isaiah Thomas had that fantastic year in Boston, a nice little run in Boston, but he now needs to prove that he could do this consistently on another team. And if he could produce better than he did in Phoenix, in Denver, I think maybe he should get an opportunity somewhere else with another team. I think he messed up. I don't know what he was demanding. I think he messed up that opportunity with the Orlando Magic. I thought ideally that was the best fit for him, because he would then have his team once again that he could be the guy. But negotiations broke down. They were talking. Negotiations broke down, and you would have to assume Isaiah Thomas probably at that point was still demanding a little bit more than the league minimum, which he ended up signing for. But hopefully things can work out for IT. Hopefully him and the Denver Nuggets could be a pretty good fit. We will see what happens. I do think he will be a six-man, though. I don't see a way Isaiah Thomas is starting unless an injury happens. And like I said, he has to buy into that system. He has to buy into the organization. He has to buy into that role of being that sixth man. But if he has a great season, he definitely see himself getting a nice pay raise next offseason. It won't be a maximum deal. I think him and his height and him being a defensive liability was always going to hinder him making max money. But maybe if he has a great year again, he can be, you know, conversations to make a little bit more money. I still say around that $10 million mark could be ideal for Isaiah Thomas, but he is signing a 1-year minimum deal with the Denver Nuggets. Like I said, it could be potentially a great fit. Now, we're staying with the Nuggets. They were involved in a trade.